Hey, Chris, welcome to another week, and another week, another cyber breach, or a dozen or so cyber breaches.
I gotta,
You
I gotta fix my lighting. I look like I really am in a fireside chat. I'm sitting in the dark with like lights around me, but yeah,
Yeah, I got to exercise. I had to close the shades because the sun was.
yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
Matt's not here. Everyone can see. I don't know. He ducked
he
out on it.
ducked out on us. Yeah, it's
Oh,
sad.
well, it's okay. Things happen, and you never know what's going to happen. And I know you said you had an interesting week.
Outside of fighting a cold, um, yeah, I had a really interesting week, especially last week. So, oh, where should we begin? I was born in. Oh, never mind.
No,
Uh,
no, no. I don't. We don't need the life story.
hey now, all right. Uh, have you heard of the email bombing ransomware campaign that's going on?
You send somebody. Yeah, I heard some things about it. Send enough emails and people will eventually click.
Yeah, in this case, it was send 3,000 emails in 45 minutes and then wait a period of time and then follow up with calls into Microsoft Teams and act like you're part of the IT team
Nice.
and get people to use like Microsoft Quick Assist for you to connect to. And yeah, just try to deploy some not so friendly software on that computer using scripts to create like a C2 server, you know, situation so they can communicate with that computer, steal information, and ultimately probably deploy ransomware.
Well, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And
And so I had a customer who unfortunately experienced this. And we got a live taste of what it's like to deal with that.
ouch.
Yeah.
So,
So,
so just to reiterate a little bit, just to back up for a little bit. So you had a client that experienced. So a client got their 3,000 email messages, and then somebody reached out on Teams. But somebody at the company had to do something to help this guy along.
20 people got 3,000 emails in
Right. No,
45 minutes.
but besides the emails, you said they connected via Teams. They had to share their computer.
Yep. They had them share their computer. So
Yep.
they had a couple of people give access to this these people,
Oh,
and
more than one?
yeah, there's two.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah. So a couple weeks ago, 20 people got 3,000 messages in 45 minutes. Incredible amount. It bypassed Microsoft's anti-spam, so they must have found like some bypass or something like that to get the mail through. It was all like Russian spammy stuff. I think it was some French stuff too. But a week later, they called via Teams from a Microsoft tenant, dialed, called them up and said they were part of IT. They used a name of somebody in IT. They knew the IT director,
LinkedIn.
IT director's name. They used the name there, and they convinced a couple people just hung up, which is cool, right? The good news
Mhm.
is the people that disconnected let the IT director know what was going on, but two people did connect, gave them access, and the tools that we had, nothing happened,
Right.
but it was a very scary situation for them, and it kind of showed them just how you can have all the technical tools in your business, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's just people. But the good news is their people did such a good job of reporting it that they shut it down so quickly that nothing bad happened. Now we had security tools did do their job on the couple of machines, but like nothing bad happened. And
Yeah.
I gave all the kudos in the world to the culture that they've developed in that organization, because for those people to go directly to that person and give them, say, hey, look, this is going on right now, like this is something's not right, and they shut it down, it's fantastic. But it brings a big what
What
if
if
that
it,
IT director wasn't there that day?
what if it was a Friday afternoon and said, "Oh, well, I'll let them know on Friday, on Monday morning."
Yep. uh But if you go back to the calls, all the speakers were American sounding.
You have them
So
recorded?
they are not recorded.
Oh, okay.
All the people reported that they were American sounded.
Oh, okay.
They didn't sound foreign. They didn't sound like they were called from anywhere else. Reports have been made with Microsoft. Reports have been made with other things. But yeah, it's kind of one of those chilling things that you like, the what if scenario.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I've had multiple conversations since then about that.
I mean, it goes down to what you've always said. We've been saying all along is we can put a bunch of great tools out there, but there is no one SKU that you can sell to be cyber safe, and it really falls down to the people doing the right things and taking the time to think about what just happened and telling people what happened.
And through that, you learn things like where there's gaps in the system,
Yep.
things that need to be resolved. People who didn't think that they could be a victim before now are reassessing that. You've talked to them about this, like the dangers of certain things, and not to say that people blow things off, but like you know how some people are. Some people they don't make different decisions until they're faced with it, right?
Yeah.
So,
and even then, sometimes people would just like put their head in the sand. Well, it happened once; it's not going to happen again. I don't care. And it goes back to something that the small financial services firm that I talked to a few years ago, where one of their clients reached out to me because she lost $200,000 because they had an email breach. And they're like, "Oh no, we got the best security in town." Well, you didn't even have MFA turned on, guys. So.
well, and if we go back, MFA is such an easy thing, but all these hacks we keep seeing don't have MFA. Power Square being that, change healthcare. But like for this one specifically, two gaps were noticed. One, why was Quick Assist enabled when it wasn't used? So that's been fixed. Two, why was Teams calling from external companies allowed when they didn't ever use it? That's been fixed. So the two methods that they would use to actually call these people can no longer happen. That does not mean that they won't attack them again and just call them on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
There was clearly enough information done on them to know who the players were, which is interesting and terrifying. But the what if he wasn't there or she wasn't there scenario comes back to if one of those computers end up getting the whole thing, basically they deploy a script, they establish a C2, so it's command and control, so they can control the machine, they can do whatever they want with it. They do a reverse, they do a SOX proxy tunneling to get commands there.
Yep.
And then they collect information, keystroke log, do all that, see what they can get to laterally in the network. And if they can get far enough, they're going to hit with ransomware. Specifically, it looks like this one's Black Bastard ransomware. I don't know for this customer if that would have been the case, but that's what the attacks look like. They're targeting.
And based on everything you said, the MFA would not have protected people from this one. These are all people that are already got on the computers, and they were basically given remote access.
Yeah, unfortunately. So there's a couple of legitimate executables they use to sideload malware DLLs too. So yeah, and it relaunches on reboot. So some really advanced stuff. This is a very targeted attack. This is happening to a lot of companies. It's not just my customer. There was a lot of attacks that went out. Sophos kind of detailed it. Some other ones kind of detailed it.
Yeah, I saw a couple alerts after we talked about what it was, and it's like, oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. I think Sophos calls them STAC 5143. But just amazing level of dedication to go through that. And the call is all about saying, hey, I just want to install some anti spam software on your computer. You know how you get all those emails? and then they use the names of the people. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and they're just trying to rely on the fact that humans will do what humans do, right? They'll trust the people because they say they're from the help desk. So,
and once these guys get in, they have a playbook. They've already worked through what they're going to do, and they know what they have an idea of what they need to get there quickly. And guys, it's one, dropping one link and downloading one quick script is enough.
And it brings up another thing, right? On top of that, are you verifying your users when they call the help desk? Because, or can your users verify you reaching out to them?
Yeah, that was the big one there. It was like,
yeah, it's something to think about in your business, like that you should implement, or whether you're an IT business, or whether you're internal IT, you should be verifying the users, or at least trying to, and then give them a way to verify you. Whatever way that is, you can use different tools to do that, but they should verify when somebody calls them up and says I'm from the help desk and uses a name. Be suspicious, but also try to verify it.
Well, and to be fair, well, also, thinking about it a little bit, most of the help desk solutions have some remote help capability built into them already. So a help desk reaching out of band and saying, "Oh, I'm here to fix your spam issue from last week." Oops.
It's like somebody knocking on your front door. Hey, I'm just in the area, and we're just checking for gas leaks. Can I come check your house out? No, some random person, but
yep. So
yeah, it was definitely an interesting week.
So the message here is train your people and train the culture, and the culture's the big one. Don't be afraid to say something.
Yeah,
culture. I think it was the New York subway that actually had an ad campaign going out. If you see something, say something.
Absolutely. Yeah, have a culture where people call somebody and they know who to call, let them know, and go from there. But yeah, this is a scary situation. It's still ongoing too. Obviously, we're trying to do more protections and things like that to kind of lock the environment down a little bit more.
So maybe next week Matt will be with us and we'll talk about shared responsibilities. We keep pushing it off.
Yeah, well, when some people just don't show up to their job.
Oh,
what do you do? Shots fired, guys. For more entertaining content, come back next week.
All right, let's move on and get back to work. Keep some people safe.
Yeah. Hey, have a good week, guys. Stay cyber safe and don't answer Teams calls.